call the roll, please.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Mr. Matheson? Mr. Payne?
Here.
Ms. Reese? Here. Mr. Carlton?
Here.
Mr. Peck?
Here. Okay. If we can, let's have a stand and have a moment of silence. And then I'd ask Mr. Long to lead us in the pledge. Mr. Long.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First, we have recognition of delegations or visitors, and we have on our agenda and then we have two others. Teams partnership with Jacob McGlamory.
All right. Hello there, everybody. It's good to see you guys again. It's been a while since I've seen some of you, and it looks like you're still holding down the fort pretty good since I've been gone, so thank you. Doing a good job. So tonight I'm here just to talk to you a little bit about a partnership that we've engaged in with, it's kind of a joint partnership with the American Academy of Pediatrics and the National Center for School Mental Health. This project is called the TEAMS Project, and it's all about engaging school districts in education and for improving health services throughout the system. In particular, this one is focused on mental health. I've got a little information here about the TEAMS project in general. So their mission statement, they say that they're all about enhancing school mental health services through training, education, assistance, mentorship, and support. Project helps school districts to overcome these barriers by engaging in a systematic, planned process to improve their health services. The TEAMS project was built on the rationale that strengthening school health services improves the health of students and leads to better educational outcomes, and that schools provide a key point of access for health care for many children, and that children benefit from a coordinated system in which school health services, health departments, and medical providers work together to optimize care. So all we're talking about here is that we're kind of working together, not just the school system, but also with regional healthcare providers and community organizations to help kind of coordinate in this particular project mental health activities for our students up here at Johnson County School System. So in particular, what we've been working on so far is that we are working on identifying our project goals. This is a pretty new partnership, so we're looking at our project goals. You know, what kind of needs are we looking at here in the Johnson County area? You know, everywhere's a little bit different, and everywhere has their own kind of needs, and we want to make sure that, you know, we're not just coming in and assuming that this is the kind of need that that we need to address here in the community, but we're trying to figure that out by talking to people, asking them about things, local businesses, stakeholders out in the community, private practitioners, what have you. So far we've identified some goals and objectives. We want to establish kind of a community team that is devoted to figuring these kinds of things out. Right now, mental health services in Johnson County are a little bit limited. We of course have Frontier Health, the Johnson County Counseling Center up here. We also have some telehealth options, and myself, of course. But other than that, we are a little bit limited if you want to stay in the county. You can go to Johnson City, Boone, Addendum, you can get some services, but that's a little bit difficult for some of our families, and we want to make sure if we can at all improve that situation, we'd like to do that. So we've also been compiling a list of potential stakeholders. We haven't actually made contact with them yet, but we have a pretty long list. Just goes and goes and goes of potential people we might want to talk to who might be interested in helping us out with this kind of project. In the next few months, we are looking at trying to have kind of an initial stakeholders meeting to establish, are these people actually interested in working with us on this kind of thing? And so that's the major part of our action plan that we're kind of working on right now, is we need to know who wants to be a part of this, who's going to be invested, who's going to work with us and help us get access to as many resources as we can. Currently, our team is just made up of a few people that are trying to establish these kind of things. Myself, Dr. Imogene South is on the team. Amanda McGlamory of Coordinated School Health is also on that team. And then we have some community partnerships that we're working with. We have a pediatrician named Dr. David Wood out of Johnson City, who sees several of our students, as well as Angie Stout from the health department down here. So we're all working together to try to figure out all this stuff. And I look forward to being able to come back and give you a little bit more of an update, but I just wanted to make you aware of what we're doing and let you ask any questions if you have anything. But thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or anything they want to talk about tonight? All right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it for giving me your time.
Thank you. Okay. Next item, next individual is, I know the first name's John. John? About diversity? Okay. I can't read the last name.
No, I didn't want to talk, I'm just listening.
Okay. Is this John from Copperhead Hollow? Okay, all right, good deal. All right. Next one is Mr. Robinson.
I just wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up from last month's meeting. I know there was quite a bit of discussion about the finding that was in last year's audit that dealt with the purchasing deficiencies. And I contacted the auditors, and they were very kind enough to provide me with what they call the deficiency matrix. And basically, Brandon sent to me, in their initial sample pool, there were 52 items. And that would have been 52 transactions of whatnot. 20 of those were the county, 32 were schools. The deficiencies in the county broke down into 4. We had 1 out of 13 applicable instances where we had a PO that wasn't issued when it should have. We had 2 of 20 applicable instances that they did a coding reclassification on how Dustin and I initially coded it into the chart of accounts. And then we also had 1 of 19 instances where we paid sales tax, and we paid $1.18 on 2 pizzas that was bought at Little Caesars to feed inmates. The school department had 6 of their 24 applicable instances. They had an issue where a PO was not issued and approved, and they had 2 additional incidents where the POs were overspent, and there were 5 out of 30 incidents where sales tax was actually paid. And then they broke it down that they found some issues with Sam's Club that we're still working through. And out of that, 14 deficiencies were there where there was an issue with either the assurance of a purchase order or the proper and necessary approvals. So that basically breaks down how that deficiency came to be, as far as it being a mix of both the county and the school. And I know Dr. Simcox and I have had this discussion more than one time. When our name goes on it, we own it. And that's sort of what we get into sometimes.
Right.
I just wanted to do a real quick follow-up about that.
Hey, we appreciate that. Thank you, Russell. All right. All right, back to our regular agenda. All right, and prior to us getting into our agenda, there are 2 changes that we need to make. One is to withdraw item number 9. Dr. Simcox, you want to explain why we're withdrawing this off our agenda?
Yes, we were advised a few weeks ago from our school board attorney to have this on our agenda if the OSHA requirement did pass through the Supreme Court, just so we would have guidance on which way to go with the vaccine mandate. But fortunately, the Supreme Court did rule against the OSHA requirements today, so now we do not have to worry about this item, so that needs to be withdrawn from the agenda.
Okay. And then we also have an item on the addendum that we need to withdraw, and can you explain that?
Yes, I'm going to turn that over to Dr. Long to explain that one on the buses.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So the county purchasing agent, Mr. Sheeran, he put out a call for bids to purchase 3 school buses. We unsealed those bids at the appointed time earlier this week. We felt like time was of the essence, so we wanted to get it on the agenda, which was in the form of an addendum. So we sort of did that in good faith, knowing that we still needed to review the build specs that they had submitted. And the one that's on the first item of the addendum there, it actually does not meet our specifications. We would not want to make that purchase, but because of the way we worded that item, that we were going to purchase that vehicle from that manufacturer, we just need to withdraw that item and take it back up next month.
Was there also a mistake in the calculations of the cost?
Thank you. Yes, there was also, so one of the issues was on the spec was a gear ratio issue. We do not believe that the bus would pull our mountainous terrain and hilly terrain like we would want it to. And we have good reason to know that because of some other products that we have in our fleet. And then the other issue was the cost. There was a place where they put the individual costs. We were purchasing 3 of these, and then there was a blank on the form where they were to put the total. And I believe it was an honest mistake, but it's neither here nor there. The total was incorrect by $8,000. So there is an issue with the packet outright.
Okay, so we're going to withdraw that, and then you're going to resubmit it at the next board meeting?
Yes, I think we'll maybe make a more general item of let's discuss the bids as they were submitted and make a recommendation to the county court.
Okay. Sure. Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so now with that business being taken care of, we'll look at the consent agenda. If anyone wants to pull an item off, let it be known. If not, I'll
Do we
entertain
need
a
to
motion.
pull the approval of the agenda since we made these changes? Or is it, do we need to just state that we're approving the agenda with those
Yeah,
changes?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda with the 2, number 9, and number 1 of the addendum removed.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese? Yes. Mr. Carlton?
Yes. All right, next item is the report of our student board member, Matthew Peak.
All right, for the report of January for the high school. First and foremost, we have 2 things going on for January 28th. So for the first thing, we got the homecoming game for the basketball against Chucky Doak. And then we also have the yearbook sales. That'll be on for $70 until January 28th. January 29th, the process will change to $75. The high school will be hosting Blowout Day tomorrow. I ask everyone to wear blue for the support of diabetes. The Longhorns game will host a blowout basketball game against South Green. The game will start at 5 o'clock. Mr. Boyd's greenhouse classes are working hard to prepare the annual sale. And the opening day will be planned on April 4th. And there'll be a second fast food night on Thursday, January 20th after school. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. All right, next is the 5-year plan. Our part of that we are reviewing this month is we will continue implementation of the community eligibility program to offer breakfast and lunch at no charge to all or as many students as possible. Dr. Simcox.
And we do, we are blessed that we are able to do that for all of our students. So that is something we definitely plan to continue in the future.
Okay. Next item, second and final reading of the Johnson County Board of Education Policy Committee recommended changes to the grading system. Dr. Simcox.
Yes, if you remember from last month, we have actually in 4.600, which is grading system, and in 4.700, which is testing programs, about our testing programs and how much they count. It only needs to be under policy 4.700, so the only thing we're asking to do on 4.600 grading system is remove the TN ready section about the grading because it's already in another policy.
It's already been TSBA and back.
Yes.
And this is the second final reading, so we'll need approval of this item.
Move we approve of the second and final reading.
Okay, Mr. Long's made the motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Mr. Payne's made a second. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Carlton?
Yes. Next item is to approve the Johnson County High School graduation for, man,
Yes.
we're already there?
Already there.
For May 21st, 2022.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that would be a two.
Time to be determined.
Yes, we'd like to have graduation. That is on a Saturday. Again, time to be determined. I know last year we did have it outside. We had it at 11. Mr. Henley and I talked. If we have that outside, we might push it till later in the evening because it got extremely hot. And I felt for those graduates having to sit there in those cap and gowns. But that is when we would like to have high school graduation. And we will determine the time very soon.
Okay. We have a motion on this item?
Yeah, I'll make a motion we approve the graduation date for May 21st, 2022.
Mr. Payne's made a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
All right, Ms. Reese is second. Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese? Yes. Mr. Carlton?
Yes. All right, budget update. Ms. Lipford.
Okay, you have your financial packet and a copy of the budget report at your seats. The school department at the end of December was 49.1% revenue received and 41.2% of appropriations expended in general purpose school fund, 7.7% revenue received and 12.3% of appropriations expended in federal projects, 47.9% revenue received and 42.4% of appropriations expended in central cafeteria, and Head Start, the fiscal year project, was 36.6% revenue received and 37.2% of appropriations expended for the month of December. Sales tax collections received in December for the month of November were $206,268. Remember, the sales tax numbers are before the split occurs with the county. Collections were up $18,159 from the same month in the prior year. And property tax collections received in December were $513,024.53. Those numbers are down just a bit from prior year.
But the month before was up over the prior year. So it may have broken even.
It's up, down.
Up and down.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Lipford? All right. And Dr. Simcox. Oh, we've got our addendum.
We have 2 items. 2 brief.
We took one off and still have two. Okay, so we do have an addendum this month. First one is approval of safe return to in-person instruction and continuity of services plan addendum. You're going to have to explain that.
Yes, so we will. Item 2 and 3 sort of go together. They're to do with our ESSER planning and some of the requirements that we have to do twice a year. That's something that Angie works on with ESSER. She has reports that she has to do, but this is just a requirement that we have to do twice a year to show what we're doing with our in-person learning, and for item number 3, what we're doing with our spending and how much has been spent. But Angie can answer any questions specifically.
So it's nothing different from what we're doing. We
No.
just have to present that
just have to
to someone.
You've actually already approved these, like the initial time once, and then part of that law is that you have to do an update now twice a year on both of those things, and we have to, you have to vote on it, and then we have to continue to get input about those, how we're spending that money, and then we have to put these documents after they're approved on the website so that our community knows exactly what's taking place.
So if anyone has a question, they can look on the website
They
to
can,
find those.
or they can always call me. I'm happy, to answer any questions about that.
Okay.
So twice a year, we can kind of tweak those a little bit?
We can, if there's a need, like our team got together and we reviewed what you all had initially approved, and there were a few things in there that had changed from the previous time, not much, but just like, for example, we're no longer starting school at 7, like everybody going to their own classroom at 7:45. That had changed, so we just have to update everybody as to what, where are we at, in this process at this time. And we'll continue to make, the changes on our plan as they happen.
Okay. So the first one is the approval of the safe return the in-person instruction and continuity of services plan, addendum. Do we have a motion on that?
I move we approve.
Okay, Mr. Long has made a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Payne is seconded. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese? Yes. Mr. Carlton?
Yes. And number 3, ESER 3.0 Public Plan Federal Relief Spending Addendum. And there is an attachment.
And that SO3 is what we're in now.
Right. Have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve item number 3.
Mr. Payne's made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese? Yes. Mr. Carlton?
Yes. All right, now to the director's report.
You had your Head Start and Pre-K information in your packet. Laura, do you have anything you want to share?
No.
As far as snow days, we have used 1 snow day so far. Next week is not looking good, but just a reminder to parents that we are out anyway Monday because of Martin Luther King Day. So, if it does snow, please stay home and stay safe and warm. Would like to update you on our Mountain City Elementary project a little bit. Mr. Adams, if you'll come up for just a second. In front of you and on the screen, we gave you, and I'm sorry that it is so small, but this is sort of what they have gave us. When we get a bigger paper, I will definitely bring that in so you can see a full-length one. But we've had to make a few changes to the Mountain City construction project, and I know Miss Triplett's here in the back. She's very excited. We've had team meetings. We've had 3 now, and we'll have another one next month or next week. But one of the changes that the architect has asked us to do is, if you remember in the original proposal, the gym area right here is just like it is at Doe. It's exactly like looking at Doe's gym. There'll be a classroom. They'll have the gym. They'll have restrooms, an office, storage, and an electrical closet. The biggest change right now is to the existing gym area. In the original plan, there was going to be 4 classrooms, which added a total of 5 classrooms. One of the classrooms was going to be so small. Ms. Triplett has no storage at Mountain City Elementary. So when we met last week, he had plans for 4 classrooms versus 3 with storage, and we ended up as our committee deciding to turn it into 3 classrooms so she would have additional storage and some little pull-out rooms where students can go in and do interventions. So that just gives you a little bit of change as far as what's going on with the classrooms. So there'll be 3 classrooms, a teacher's workroom, storage, some individualized rooms, an electrical room. And then next, I think it's the 27th through 28th, we have to go in front of the Planning Commission, and I'm going to let Mr. Adams tell you what we have to do with that, but it's got to do with the road, because we've had to move the new gym over just a little bit because of the topography with the swampy area, as we call it, with Mountain City. So I'm going to let Mr. Adams sort of explain that to you.
And if you look at the plan, even though she's getting 3 classrooms in the old gym, she's still getting a 4th classroom in the new gym area too. And as Dr. Simcox said, whenever the survey was done, looking at the topography and the boundaries, he opted to move it forward a little bit so that there would still be a safe drive around behind. And about all I did as far as construction, it made the foyer area a little bit larger, but we talked about that. That'll be a good spot for a lot of different things, whether it's pickup, drop off, for ball games, entrances and exits and such. Well, we'd be going in front of the Planning Commission for where there was a house there, that was residential, and then schools, different zone. So we've got to take both of the plots that we have, that we own, and see if they will put those together and zone them the same.
This corridor between the 2 of them, does that cut that road off, and is that a solid corridor?
It will cut the road off,
Exactly.
and it'll go around behind. That's why the building was shifted forward.
County Planning Commission, or city?
City.
Okay, I was curious if they had 2.
Yeah, as far as we know, we'll just go in front of the city on the 27th, and there's a lady from the First Tennessee Development District that kind of heads all of that up, so we don't expect to see any problems, and I think Mr. Grayson, who did our survey, is going with us.
When is the thought on starting this?
We will get his timeline.
We're talking about doing bids in the spring.
Bids
and then
in the
hopefully-
spring, and then hopefully, once they get the bids, then the construction will start. But we're just in the planning stages right now.
Hopefully, it looks like maybe breaking ground sometime in summer, late summer.
While you're up, have you heard, I know we ask each month, any more on the road at Doe?
No, sir. I haven't even talked to Mr.
Well,
Wagner.
I was gonna ask the question too, the principals, since we changed time, has that helped the pickup drop-off at the different places? I'm assuming Laurel, you probably didn't have any problem to begin with.
I think Rome Creek probably had the
Rome
hardest
Creek.
time.
Did that help
Yes, yes,
considerably?
considerably.
Okay, and I guess Doe.
I generally pass by Doe on my way up every
Yeah.
morning.
It's not been
I've not seen an issue. You know, if we open the doors at 7 o'clock, they're gonna be there waiting.
Yeah.
And there's a short line, but I have not seen them back down to the highway like they are.
Like it used to be?
Yeah.
Okay. So the time change did help?
Yes.
Good.
So we just wanted to give you a little update on what's going on with Mountain City.
We appreciate that.
I'm assuming, I was gonna ask too, I'm assuming these doors to the outside will have the same
Oh,
safeguards
yes,
as.
yes, they will definitely be safety-proof and all that. U-Trust Appreciation Day today is for our food service workers, so if you see a food service worker, I know Kathy's back there, she has a wonderful staff who do a great job of feeding our students and our staff, so we just want to thank them today. Board Appreciation Week is coming up in a few weeks, and we just want to thank our board members for all they do, and they do a tremendous job for the Johnson County students. Board Retreat, that will be coming up soon. I'll have Serena email you all. We're looking at either February the 26th or March the 12th. So I'll have her email and see if either one of those days work for you. We'll do it on that Saturday at the high school. And then just two additional things. Our extended day survey results did come in for the 23-24 calendar, which will be on our February agenda. You know, we always try to do 2 years in advance so parents know. 97% of our staff want to continue with the extended days where we go the 30 extra minutes so we get the 13 snow days, so that will continue. And I do want to, since Mr. Long is here this month, congratulate him for being on the TSBA board again. So we're very, very proud of you and very honored to have a TSBA board member from Johnson County, and you do a great job with that.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
All right. Mr. Payne?
I don't have anything, just want to thank everybody for hanging in there. You know, we've got another variant coming around, so just hopefully we can keep dodging the bullet.
Ms. Reed?
Well, I just hope everybody had a good holiday and you're back, and hopefully we can stay in school for the rest of the school year. And I'd like to thank,
Laurel.
is it Laura?
I think so.
Yeah.
Laura for the gift.
Thank you.
Appreciate you very much.
Just a quick question. I know Supreme Court took care of some business for us tonight. We're still involved with that somehow, with kindergarten?
Oh,
food
pre-K?
service?
I don't know that.
Is that gonna change anything?
Head Start?
Yes.
Yeah, we were one of the states that decided that, that the Supreme Court's not gonna make them have the shots as of right now. I think there's 25 states involved in that, so as of right now, we do not have to have the shots, nor do they have to wear masks.
Okay.
No, I think the entire order was blocked, wasn't it?
The whole
Well, and
thing?
Head Start is 25 states right now. I mean, that's just, well, hopefully it'll be the whole world.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on a Head Start director's call today, and I have friends down in West Tennessee that they have 20 classrooms they've still not open, and one part in Middle Tennessee have 30 positions open because they can't keep the staff because of all this.
Mm.
We've been really lucky.
Those are the counties under that judge's order though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not now.
Food service wasn't affected by this? Okay, good. Just glad to be back. I was on a trip last month, had a good time, but always glad to come back home.
And I'd like to follow up with, just on, touch base on that. You know, I supervise programs from Virginia down to South Carolina, and COVID's running rampant. And it's affecting everybody, and it's very contagious, so we do need to be careful. keep up with what we've been doing, the cleaning and things like that. Because while it's not affecting most people as serious as some of the others, but it's running rampant. We can't keep staff, and dealing with some of the clients that we have, it's just eating us up out of house and home. So, and in light of that, just keep Kevin Hampton in our thoughts and prayers. Kevin's a teacher up at the high school, and he's been in extremely serious condition. And you know, hopefully that'll improve. But the family and Kevin definitely need our thoughts and prayers. Dr. Simcox?
All right.
Mr. Peak, you got anything else? High school running good?
Yeah.
Let's keep it running good. No COVID. How many cases did we have today?
Today.
6 teachers, 6 staff. I remember.
Yeah, I've got it. Hold on just a second. I'll bring it just in case you ask.
I think it's like 22.
Today we have active cases for students are 17 and 6 employees. So.
Okay. All right, so let's all be careful. Do I have a motion?
Joanne.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
We're adjourned.